So throughout my life, I've been given a lot of bad advice. Why don't you take that cake? Mom isn't looking. Or why don't you just let me look at your test? The teacher isn't looking. Or it's not illegal if you don't get caught. These are all horrible advices given to me, and I've been too naive to really go against it. But the worst advice that I've ever been given has to be in regards to the world's most beautiful and yet confusing aspect: women. Now, we have a lot of women in this room, but the advice that I was given, and you can tell me if this is right or wrong, is women are simple. Just relax and be yourself. And that didn't turn out too well for a boy at 15. So there were a couple things that I noticed about women that completely disregarded this fact. The first one was the body movements that happen when you're talking with them. So I was on this date with this girl, and when we were talking, she would always, curl her hair, do that, curling hair smile thing. And I'm a boy at 15. I'm pretty naive. I'm kind of, just starting out. And so I was like, well, if you really want to curl your hair, I know a good salon. Obviously, that was the wrong move to do. The second thing I also figured out was that women want a guy who's qualified to their priorities. They want someone who's kind of up to their standards. And for men, it's more of, oh, once we get together, we can work on things. But for women, it's like you have to turn in this resume before you can actually get a shot with them. And at 15, I didn't really understand this, but I come to compare it as a freshman in college applying for a CEO position at Walt Disney. It just doesn't work out that way. And the final thing that I noticed about women that makes them complicated to me is the fact that a lot of women have come up to me and they say, oh, this guy used me, or he's such a douche, or they're all dicks. But in reality, it seems like those are the only guys that get women. And that kind of confused me. And I said to myself, well, what is it that women are really looking for? So, but shoot, I don't have a finishing point. But I learned that I love women regardless of anything that goes on.
Okay, I used to live in San Jose. So there I went to Evergreen Ballet College. So I have this friend. He was like a hippie guy, long hair, always listening like 70s music or 60s music, all that kind of stuff. So he was a very spontaneous, crazy guy. When we had this class together, it was like 10 a.m. and he said, hey, let's go to Monterey. It's like 2 hours driving, dude. And he said, no, let's go driving, okay? So like 10 a.m. driving like crazy over the freeway in Monterey. We got there. I was like start drinking and eating like this place. I don't know what's the place. It's all restaurants around there by the beach. So I started drinking, eating, and then we get high. I mean so it was like 2 p.m. maybe 2 in the afternoon. So he plays drums, and he has these bangos in his car, yeah. I have my guitar, so I play guitar. I mean, he dressed like a pajamas all day. So we said, okay, let's ask for some money, okay. So he grabbed his the beer bag or the paper bag. He put it down on the floor. I was playing guitar, and he saw some bangos. So I was playing this in Spanish, music in Spanish, and he's playing bangos like crazy. We all high and drunk like crazy. And maybe we collect maybe like $5, which I spend in beer. So then we start walking by hours and hours, up to the hills, and then we go down, and we not dreaming, we're high, so high. So we get down to the beach, and we start again playing and asking more money, like homeless. I was with my bag, with my books in my bag, and he was with nothing because he never brings any books or for school or nothing. So then I don't know how we start sleeping on the grass on the beach. It's like the scene on the grass. And then I wake up like 8 p.m. in the night. I was like sober, and saying, what the heck I'm doing here in Monterey, 2 hours from my house. So then I get home like 1 a.m. tired and hungover.
Hold on. Let's remember what I was doing. Okay. Last week, I talked about the all-American dream. 6 months ago, there was another group of people who had a dream, and those people are called the Occupy protesters. And they are fighting for the real American dream, not my made-up fantasy dream job. And these people had a clear message. Well, I don't know if it was really clear, but they had a thought for what they wanted to do and what they had for America and what they wanted. And I think they really screwed up the way they handled talking to the media. In the past 6 months or so, they've gone from a force to be reckoned with to this annoyance and people who are starting fights and fires. And they've also made Oakland look really, really bad. For the Stephen Colbert Report had a couple wonderful guests on from the Occupy protest, and they were apparently spokespeople for the Occupy protesters in New York. Their names were, I don't remember the guy's name, but the girl's name was Ketchup. And that was her real name. And Stephen Colbert was trying to talk to them about, what is your message? What are you guys trying to do? And, why, if you guys have ever seen someone speak at the Occupy protest, they have someone go up and they'll shout like a line, and then everyone else shouts what they said. So I could say, let's go to Burger King, and you guys would all say, let's go to Burger King. And it would go on like this for hours. And after the person was done speaking, they would do these hand gestures to say whether they agreed or not. So if they agreed, they would do this. If they didn't agree, it was like, I don't remember what they did, but it was really stupid. Colbert made them look really, really bad. And unfortunately, that was kind of a tipping point from my point of view on how the Occupy protesters turned, because right there, they became a joke. And their message just totally got mangled up, and they didn't really handle the media really well. And that's what I think their problem was to begin with, because they didn't have a real clear message to give to the media, to give to all of us.
So when you guys are in college, do you think about classes or the fun that you have? Well, I think about the classes, of course, because it's really important to me. Right, guys? Everyone should say yes. But I guess my favorite class of all time has to be, obviously, environmental science and problems and solutions. No, I'm just kidding. No, but really, that class was pretty awesome. Like, I spontaneously was like, oh, I think this sounds interesting, I'll take it. And then it became my favorite. Why? Because I learned so much crap in there that's related to my everyday use. An example would be bottled water, like Arrowhead. Why does this taste like pennies, right? It tastes like pennies. And why are there those numbers on the bottom? What the heck does that mean? Whatever, I'm gonna drink this stuff that tastes funny, and it comes from this mountain called Arrowhead. No, but the truth is spring water, right? Spring water technically means any water that comes out of the ground. It could be a pipe, it goes through the ground and comes out of a pipe through your sink. Spring water, whoa, mind-blowing. And then this mountain, this is probably not the mountain. All the mountains look the same on all these bottle companies. And all these numbers, what does that mean? 1 through 7. Well, 7 happens to be those big Arrowhead jugs, those blue jugs, that you drink out of. That's the worst one. Why? 7 represents everything else plastic. Everything else that's meshed together, melted, and they're like, oh, let's put containers and put water in it so people could drink it. And oh, why are these people like, oh, they taste funny, but whatever, so they can make money. The problem is, in those plastics, there's all those toxic stuff, An example would be plastic bags that's melted in there. Used diapers. Oh, man, yeah, that's right. Oh, whatever's in the recycle bin you put into your garbage, they're using that stuff and putting it into those blue containers. And you're drinking water out of that. And you know what else is crazy? The FDA, right? They're supposed to regulate all this water. Well, you know what? Like, in the census or whatever, half of a person regulates each water bottle factory a year. Half of a person. The FDA is a nonprofit organization that was organized by a bunch of moms that are like, hey, our sons in the army are eating these meats that are green and have worms in it. We should regulate something. Yeah, nonprofit, right? So that stuff's crazy, and you guys should take that class. That's why it's my favorite class. It's a bunch of stuff. I got a C in that class, but I still learned a lot. Thank you.
Oh, you're doing it? Okay. Okay, well, here at SF State, we have a wide range of options to eat on campus. Now, I have to be honest, I never eat here. I've been here 3 years, and I honestly can say I've only eaten here like 2 or 3 times. My main reasons are, food's too expensive here. I mean, I'd rather go to Safeway and buy a loaf of bread for like $2, ham for another $2, and like that'll last me about a month. Whereas here on campus, a meal is like $6, $7, $8, and most of the restaurants here, like the meals cost $10, and that's just ridiculous. And you have to pay with cash most of the time, and I use my debit card for everything, so that's an issue. But I researched a few places on campus to eat at, and there's Cafe 101, Natural Sensations, Gold Coast Grill, and there's a lobby snack shop where you can buy whatever you want, like chips, soda, candy, and then there's the Healthy You, where you can get a bunch of healthy options, like there's Adlib4, which I love. My biggest tip would be just to go to Safeway or Costco with your roommates if you want to save money on food, because it's really expensive, and as college students, I'm sure you guys don't have money to be eating here on campus every day. At Costco, you can buy like everything bulk. I split my bread because it's like 2 for 1. It's 2 loaves of bread for $5. So me and my roommate do that. We rotate every few months. I buy it and then she'll buy it, which is great. And also another way to save money on food is I wait till my mom comes to visit me and she'll buy all my groceries. I mean, you guys should try it. It's great. Great way to save money. I thought about my sister when I got this topic, because every time she comes to San Francisco, she always like, Gabby, where can I come to eat? And I'm like, I never go out to eat. I'm a college student. I save my money to go shopping or something. So I really thought of her, and I'm going to try to go out to eat more often and explore restaurants in San Francisco just to, you know, have diversity in my meals and be able to tell her, you know, this is where you can go when you come to visit. So I'm definitely going to text her after this class and tell her about about the topic. But definitely, what do you guys think about food on campus?
Good.
You like it? Any restaurants you recommend that I could try?
Cafe Rosso.
Is it good?
Yeah.
Yes. I go to Healthy Sensations a lot.
Chicken pesto.
Is it expensive?
I get a bagel. It's like a little over $3. It's not too bad.
Well, that's not bad. Well, the meal I tried was about $7 last time I ate here, so it's quite expensive.